Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome. It's time for another 10 cards, 1 kit video. I love doing these. And on my desk today, I have the new All Aboard Christmas kit from Spellbinders. This is a limited edition kit, and it's all about holiday card crafting. So let me pull this kit out of the box. There's a lot in this kit. If you want to make your own Christmas cards this year, this kit has you covered. It will set you up very nicely with crafty goodies. So this kit is extra big. This is the contents page. It gives you some examples. And on the flip side, it shows you how to use the dies. The dies this time are adorable. I'll show you those in just a minute. In this kit, you get 25 card bases and 25 envelopes. They are for your A2 sized cards. You get 2 packs of the die-cut shapes. I'll open those in just a minute. Here is the double-sided adhesive and the foam squares. You get a pack of red sequins. If you'd like to make gift tags, they have a pack for that. I'll give you a closer look when I create my second card. I'm going to be using some of these pieces. You get a beautiful pack of gold-flecked gemstones. The stamp set in this kit is a sentiment builder stamp set, and these are fabulous. I love the 3 large words as well. You get a lot of stickers this time. You get a double-sided pack of chipboard stickers. This next one is a pack of glitter foam stickers. And then you get some glitter sentiments. I love the stars in this pack. The last one is a gold glitter alphabet set, and it's dimensional. They're like foam pieces as well. Here is a second foam square that I found, and then I'm going to pull out the dies. I had so much fun playing with these. I like to store these on my Spellbinders diamond, just so I don't lose them. But let me lay these out for you. So it builds the cutest little train. And you can make it as detailed as you'd like or as simple as you'd like. I went kind of detailed on my first one. And then the second one I create is kind of simple, and they both just look really adorable. But you got a lot of building pieces to go with these, as well as a Christmas tree and some presents and a Christmas bulb. So I'm just going to put these back on the diamond and put that aside. Let's look at the patterned paper. It's a lightweight patterned paper. You get 2 of each pattern, and it is single-sided. You get some very unconventional Christmas colors and patterns in this pack, which I love. But they're all very different. Then you get some beautiful florals and stripes. I love the text block patterns. I use a lot of these papers for these cards. You get some glitter cardstock, a gold one and a red one. Let me pull these out of the cellophane. The glitter does shed just a little bit, but I use these both for my cards. And then you get a lot of cardstock in this kit. Let me show you all of the pretty cardstocks. I'll lay these out on my work mat. I really like that you get a white, a cream, and kind of an eggshell white. You get your traditional reds and greens. And then you also get a navy blue and a black. Here's the eggshell piece. I love that one. It includes a piece of metallic cardstock as well as silver this time. I love their metallic cardstocks. So let's open up these packs of die-cut shapes. I'm just going to go through these very quickly because there's a lot in these packs. You get 2 of each shape. These are really fun pieces to collage with, to layer up, and come up with some really fun, unique designs of your own. That one says joy. I was just holding it upside down, trying to figure out what that said. But there are sentiment strips and sentiment shapes in here, as well as a lot of traditional shapes like trees and Christmas bulbs. The second pack is filled with just florals, and I loved this because the florals are one thing that I gravitate toward and I create most of my cards with. So there are a lot of pretty florals. So let's start off with card number 1. For this card, I'm going to create a mini slimline so I can fit a lot of train cars on this. I cut out a piece of the eggshell cardstock using the large die of the month from July, which was a really fun slimline, mini slimline set. And I'm going to layer my trains with 2 pieces of cardstock just to give them a little bit more sturdiness. I'll do the same with the cars. Wasn't sure which colors to use, so I cut them out with a few different colors to give me some options to look at, but I decided to use the red and the green. Now these dies are etched, so they have a lot of detail on them, and it helps you out with the placement of the layering pieces. You know right where to put them. Here are the cute little wheels. I like to do all of my die cutting at once so I can just sit down and start building and creating my card. So I'm using different colors of cardstock for my layering pieces, but I don't use every single layering piece that came with the dies. So here is the grill, and it does help if you have some tweezers for some of these smaller pieces. I did die cut the bar that goes under the wheels, but I forgot to attach that. But it looks good just like it is, I think. And now for the detail on the door. It did take me a while to finish this card, but I enjoyed putting this little train together. And like I said, you can pick and choose which details you want to add. I wanted to go all out with this card because I'm going to be sending this one to my mom. She just loves trains, and so I thought this would be perfect for her. Sometime I'd like to use these dies on a regular slimline card and use lots of the cars behind it. I think that would look so adorable. Next, I'm adding some bar details to the cars. And then I can start attaching the wheels. I'm putting glue on the tops of the wheels, and then I can just pick them up with the car die cut. Now I can put the bars on the wheels, and since this is the metallic cardstock, it does take a little longer to dry. This is another cute little detail. I already added the bars on the train off camera, so those are all done. Now let's put together one of these trees. They come with these squiggly lines that you can glue along the bottom. You can use white cardstock so it appears like snow, but I wanted to use more of the silver cardstock. And there's one for each size or each piece of tree. And you could build this up as many layers as you'd like, but I'm just going to do the 3 so that it fits nicely on my slimline card, or my mini slimline card. I'll just stack those together. This is the darling little bulb that you can make. I just used some gold metallic cardstock for that. And then here are the presents, and you get quite a few that you can decorate and add to the cars. I'm using more gold cardstock for that, and silver. And now to glue the bow on top. And I'll allow that to dry for a few minutes before I start adding it to the cars. I popped up my train with foam squares, and now I can put the Christmas tree and the presents and the Christmas bulb inside the cars. And I'm just going to glue them down flat. But look how cute they look in this train. Now here's the bulb. And then I'm going to put one more smaller present in this back car. I'll attach this to a red piece of cardstock. This is called Cranberry, And my card measures 6.5 by 3.5. And then you'll be able to see the red card stock from behind my main panel. The sentiment comes from the die cut shapes. It says surprise, and then I'll use some glue to attach this to my card base. One of the cars fell off there, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the foam pieces and reattach that. But I'll wiggle this in position, and then this glue will ensure that it won't come off again. I am going to add a few of the gold flecked gems, 3 of the red ones on this panel, and here's a close-up look at card number 1. Isn't that just fun? They always have really fun die sets in their kits. I enjoy them very much. On the inside, I used another sentiment that says special delivery. And now on to card number 2. Let's open up this pack of tags. There are a lot of pretty tags in this set. And the twine that comes with it was really nice. I use it on a lot of my cards in this video. But let me show you these pretty tags. Some you can add sentiments to and add more layers with your die cut shapes. That would be a pretty one to add sentiments to. And here are the smaller sentiment tags. These are just pretty. So I want to use one of the tags for a card. I don't make a lot of tags, but I see a lot of other crafters doing it, and it looks so much fun, so I might have to try that this year. But I'm going to cut the tag part off of this candy jar and just use it as an ephemera piece on one of my cards. I'll use some of the twine to tie a bow around the top rim of this jar. And I'm just going to use a glue dot to attach it. I'll put it at the side. And then I'll use a little bit of liquid glue to glue the string down so that it looks like it's wrapping around the jar. And this will just hold it in place nicely. There are a lot of candy ephemera pieces that I'm going to pull out from the pack, as well as a beautiful piece of the pattern paper that has candy on it. But first, let's add the sentiment. I popped this up with foam squares. Then here's the pretty piece of pattern paper that has the gold metallic candies on it. I'll add some more foam tape behind my jar. And then I'm just going to randomly add candy next to it. This is a cute little candy cane. I'll kind of tuck that behind the jar. And more candy pieces. For all of these cards, I am going to decorate the insides. And here's a close-up look at my second card. And a peek at the inside. I put another jar on the inside as well as some more candy. On card number 3, I'm going to use, this was one of my favorite pieces of pattern paper. It has this block text on it, but I'm going to add a little bit of color to it using some salvaged patina distress oxide ink. And then I'm going right for the florals. I always love the florals in these card kits. Some of them I'm going to glue down flat. And then this one I'm going to pop up with some more foam adhesive. Just going to make a little trio of flowers. Let's pull out the glue and put these 2 down flat first. I love the gold details on these as well. And then I'm going to add a lot of leaves around this trio of flowers. I'm just going to start tucking them behind the flowers. I'm using lots of teal colored leaves. And it just blends in really well with the salvaged patina ink. This is kind of an unconventional color scheme I'm going with on this card, but I think the gold foiling on these pieces make it a little more acceptable as a Christmas card. And then the sentiment I'm going to put on it says December to remember. And of course, that indicates that it's a Christmas card. I'm going to pop up the sentiment with some foam strips. Couldn't quite decide where to put that, but I liked it at the bottom. And then I'm just trying to make this little bouquet of flowers really full. I'm going to mat this panel with a piece of the hot pink cardstock. This is kind of an in-between hot pink and red cardstock, but it looks more pink to me, so I'm going with pink. And now I can add my main panel, and it's going to have this nice matting on it with the pink. I'm going to add a few of the gems on this card, the pink ones, just 3 of them around the panel. And then here is the completed card. I think that's just pretty and elegant. On the inside, I used some more, or another flower, and more of the pattern paper. So let's move on to the next card. This one is super simple. I'm using a die cut shape and stamping the word joy in the center of it. I stamped it up a few times to get it good and dark. And then above the sentiment, I'm using one of the builder sentiments. This one says, sending you. This die cut shape is going to go in front of this pretty red pattern paper, and I'm going to pop up the die cut shape with some foam pieces. I thought that it needed a bow, so I'm pulling in a white bow as well as some stars from the sticker pack. I'll use these stars in place of the gemstones or the sequins. To attach the bow, I'm using another micro dot. And it's a very subtle look on this card because it's white. It kind of blends in, but I think it's a really pretty touch. On the inside of this card, I used a joy sticker and more of the pattern paper just on the corner. So that one was super fast and easy. I really loved this piece of pattern paper, and I wanted to use it to stamp out my sentiments on in between these stripes. So I'm using the sentiment that says wonderful. I love these 3 big bold sentiments in the set. And of course I stamped that several times just to get it nice and dark again. And then the smaller stamp says, may your holidays be. And I'm just stamping that right above it. I'm going to pull more flowers out. These are the poinsettia flowers. Let's put this down on our card base. I'll layer up these poinsettias to give them some dimension. So the first layer I'm putting down flat, as well as the leaf. And then the second layer I'm popping up with some foam adhesive. I use every single piece of the foam adhesive that comes in the kit. Once I use the dots out of the center, or the squares out of the center, then I use the negative space. I added some pink gemstones to this card, and on the inside, of course, more florals and pattern paper. You can make up cards really fast, and they turn out just stunning with all of the pretty crafty goodies in this kit. Okay, on to the next card. I'm going to use the navy blue as a mat and then some more pattern paper. I really liked this green striped pattern paper. Let's center that on the navy blue cardstock. And then I found some fun Christmas trees in the die cut shapes that I want to use. So we'll put the pink one down first, and the 2 trees on the side I'm going to pop up with foam strips. I like the wonky shapes of these trees. I'll put a few presents underneath, and I'm using more foam adhesive on these. as well as a little bit of liquid glue. And then the sentiment comes from the die cut shapes, and it just says Merry Christmas. I'll put that up at the top. Just went perfectly with the navy cardstock. And then I'm going to pull out a star from the dimensional glitter stickers and put it on top of the pink tree. And that's it for this card. On the inside, I used another tree. I love that they have 2 of each die cut shape, as well as some of the pattern paper. My next card is going to be kind of a woodsy nature card. I'm using the pattern paper that looks like a deer, the fur of a deer, and then over that I'll use this wood grain pattern paper. I'll have a lot of different mats on this card. And then the die cut shapes I pulled in are some more, it's a stag and a deer. I'll put the stag down flat, and then the deer I popped up with some foam squares. Then I'll use some pretty pine boughs. They have the gold details on them. And I'll just kind of center these under the 2 critters. I'll put a few of the red berries in the center of these pine boughs. I'll just glue these right on the boughs. This one kind of goes over the edge, so I'll use another foam square underneath it just to hold it in place. And then one more to make up the trio. I thought these deer die cut shapes were so pretty, and they're flecked with gold foiling as well. So let's put another bow on this card. We'll put it in the center of these boughs. The sentiment, I want just a part of it. I want it to say wonder. So I'm going to tape it off and ink it up with some clear Versamark ink. And then I can just remove the tape and stamp it down, and it's just going to say wonder. I'm going to heat emboss this with some bright, sparkly gold embossing powder. So let's pour over this wow embossing powder. This is called Pearl Gold Sparkle, and I love this for Christmas cards. And now I can melt this. I allowed my heat tool to warm up. The second part of the sentiment, I'm also going to heat emboss, and it just says, "May you be surrounded by," and then I'll have the wonder word underneath it. I'll pop up this sentiment, strip with some foam strips, but the wonder I'm just going to glue down flat. And I really love the way this one turned out. So here's a close-up look. And a look at the inside. It's nice to have the insides of your Christmas cards well decorated, because it's not always easy to write a long sentiment on each Christmas card, especially if you're sending out a lot. So it does help to take up space inside your cards. Okay, I'm using another card or tag for the next card. And I stamped the sentiment that says joy on it again. I love that one the best, I think. And I'm using more of the pink/red cardstock on my card base, as well as another piece of pattern paper. I'll use some more of the fun twine on this tag. And I'm just going to tie a bow up at the top. I'm going to put the foam kind of at the bottom of the tag. It'll just make it all one level with the kind of the bulky bow. However, it's not overly bulky. I was really pleasantly surprised with this twine. I liked it quite a lot. I'm going to tuck some Christmas bulbs behind and on top of the tag. And then I cut out some of the glitter cardstock. I wanted to add string to my bulbs. So I cut them out into strips, and I'm just going to tuck them above the bulbs. And then I can cut off the excess in a minute once that dries. But I really like this little touch of gold to the card. I have one more bulb, even though it's right up at the top, I'm still going to put a little piece of the silver cardstock there. Now I can just flip it over and cut off the excess. And then I went ahead and added some more of the pink gemstones to this card. And here's a look at the inside. I used this sentiment as a bulb and put another strip of the glitter cardstock on that. For card number 9, I'm going to make another Christmas train card. So I put down a piece of gray cardstock, and then I'm using 2 pattern papers together. I love these little houses, and I put a piece of the yellow cardstock at the bottom. This will help differentiate the train from the busy pattern paper. So I'll put the wheels on the yellow pattern paper. And I'm just going to glue it down flat this time. My train for this card is a lot more simple. I didn't add all of the bells and whistles to it, and of course none of the cars behind it. But I still think it looks super cute on this card. The sentiment comes from the dimensional sticker pack. It says, "Let the festivities begin." Added a few of the red gemstones, and here's a close-up look. On the inside there are more stickers, the sentiment stickers, and more pattern paper. And on to card number 10. This one is another super fast and easy one to put together, but it's really striking. I'm using more of the floral ephemera pieces. These have beautiful gold details on them. I'm going to layer them up. I pulled out a lot of the leaves and flourishes that have the gold details on them as well. But the sentiment is a die-cut shape, and it says, "May your holiday sparkle with joy and happiness." I'm just trying to figure out where to put the sentiment on the front of this card. But I'll put my second flower down. And then before I put the sentiment down, I want to put another piece of, or a sliver of the gold cardstock. This is the gold glitter cardstock, and I just wanted a stripe of it down the side of the card. And then I'll add more flourishes and leaves before I put my sentiment in place. Now let's peel off of the backing. And I used another big piece of the dimensional foam that came in the kit to pop this up. I used some pretty white gemstones for this card. I loved how it just pops on this card. The white looks really pretty. Well, I had so much fun playing with this fabulous kit, and I hope you enjoyed this video and got some fun inspiration. Again, this is the limited edition All Aboard Christmas kit. I'll leave the link to it in the description box below, as well as the links to all of the products that I used to create these 10 cards. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye.